Hello everyone, and welcome back to Daily Con Story channel. This is a place where learning English is easy and calm.
Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're talking about this. Do you freeze when someone asks, "How was your weekend?" Learn simple phrases that will make you sound like a native English speaker.
All right, so we're doing this. We're actually talking about how to talk about weekends. Does that sound as meta to you as it does to me?
Oh, completely. But you know what? I think it's brilliant because this is literally the most common conversation starter in English, right? Like Monday morning, you walk into the office or you meet someone.
How was your weekend? An exaggerated, cheerful voice.
Exactly. And yet so many people, especially English learners, they just freeze up. They're like, good. It was good.
The dreaded one-word answer. Yeah, I have been there. I mean, even as a native speaker, sometimes I'm just like, what did I even do? Like, my brain just goes blank.
Right? So maybe we should start there. What makes weekend conversations so, I don't know, tricky?
Well, I think part of it is that people overthink it. They think they need to have done something like extraordinary, like they climbed a mountain or went skydiving or.
Discovered a new species of butterfly.
Yes, exactly. But the truth is, most weekends are pretty normal, and that's totally fine. I mean, think about it. Last weekend, what did you do?
Um, I literally stayed in my pajamas until noon on Saturday, watched 3 episodes of that new detective show. What's it called? The one everyone's talking about.
Oh, with a British detective?
Yeah, that one. And then I think I ordered Thai food and fell asleep on the couch. So, not exactly National Geographic material.
But see, that's a perfect example. You just told me a story. You painted a picture. You didn't just say, it was good or it was fine. You gave me details.
Huh. I guess I didn't I?
And that's the key, I think. Details, even small ones. Like you mentioned staying in your pajamas until noon. That's a detail that makes it real, It's relatable.
Yeah, I see what you mean. So instead of just saying, I relaxed, you say, I stayed in my pajamas and binge-watched a show. It's more vivid.
Exactly. And here's the thing. When you're learning English, or even if you're just trying to have better conversations, these little details are gold. They give the other person something to respond to.
Right, like, if I just said, I relaxed, you'd be like, oh, cool, and then awkward silence.
Yep, conversation over. But when you mention the detective show, suddenly I can ask, oh, is it good? Should I watch it? And boom, we're having an actual conversation.
Okay, so details are important. What else? Like, what about the language itself? The phrases people use?
Oh, good question. So there are definitely some common expressions that come up a lot, like I caught up on. You hear that one all the time.
Caught up on?
Yeah, like I caught up on sleep, or I caught up on my reading, or I caught up with an old friend. It's this idea of doing something you've been meaning to do but haven't had time for.
Oh, I like that. It's kind of efficient, like you're acknowledging you've been busy, but you finally got to do the thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, I don't know, adult. Like, I finally caught up on my laundry.
The glamorous life we lead. What about verbs? Like, how do you describe activities?
Okay, so this is interesting because in English, we have a lot of flexibility. You can say, I went to the park, but you can also say, I hung out at the park, or I chilled at the park.
I popped by the park.
Yes, though popped by sounds like you were just there for a minute. Like, I popped by the grocery store. Quick trip.
Right. So the verb choice actually tells you something about, like, the vibe of the activity.
Totally. I went to dinner versus I grabbed dinner. Grabbed sounds more casual, more spontaneous.
Oh, yeah. And what about when you want to say you did nothing? Because let's be honest, sometimes you just need a do-nothing weekend.
Oh my God, yes. And there are so many ways to say this. You can say, I took it easy, or I had a lazy weekend, or my personal favorite, I did absolutely nothing and it was amazing.
I love the honesty of that last one, just owning it.
Right? And here's the thing. People appreciate honesty. Like if someone asks about your weekend and you say, honestly, I just needed to recharge, so I stayed home and did nothing. People get that. They respect it.
Yeah, especially these days. Everyone's so burnt out. But okay, what about the flip side? What if you had a really busy weekend and you did like 10 different things?
Ooh, good question. So then you want to prioritize. You don't need to list every single thing. Pick the highlights.
The highlights, okay.
Yeah, like I had a packed weekend. Saturday, I went to this farmer's market that was amazing, and then Sunday, I helped my friend move. You're giving them the main beats, not a minute-by-minute breakdown.
Right, because nobody wants the minute-by-minute breakdown.
Nobody. But seriously, unless they specifically ask for more details, in which case, go for it.
And that's actually a good point about asking follow-up questions, isn't it? Like if someone tells you about their weekend, you should, engage with it.
Absolutely. This is huge. And I think a lot of language learners forget this part. They're so focused on what they're going to say about their own weekend that they don't really listen to the other person.
Yeah.
But asking follow-up questions, that's what makes it a real conversation. So if someone says, I went hiking, you could ask, oh, where did you go? Or how was the weather? Or do you hike often?
Right, and those questions show you're actually interested.
Exactly. And here's a little tip. You can use what they said to connect to your own experience. Like, oh, you went hiking? I love hiking. Where's your favorite spot?
Oh, that's good. So you're building a connection.
Yeah, you're finding common ground. It makes the conversation feel more natural, less like an interview.
Yeah, nobody wants to feel interrogated about their weekend. Where were you between the hours of 9 a.m. and noon on Saturday?
Do you have an alibi? But seriously, the back and forth is what makes it fun. You share a bit, they share a bit, you ask questions, they ask questions.
It's like a dance, kind of.
Yeah, actually, that's a great analogy. It's a dance. And like any dance, you need to be aware of your partner, reading the room, paying attention to whether they seem interested or if they're just being polite.
Right, right. So what are some signs that someone wants to keep talking versus like they're ready to move on?
Well, if they're asking you follow-up questions, that's a good sign. If their answers are getting shorter and shorter, like, yeah, cool, nice.
That's your cue to wrap it up.
Yeah, exactly. Or if they start looking around the room, checking their phone.
The universal signs of I want out of this conversation.
Yep. But you know what? Here's something I've noticed. When you're genuinely enthusiastic about what you're saying, people pick up on that energy.
Oh, for sure.
Like, if you're excited about something you did, even if it's something small, that enthusiasm is contagious. So instead of saying, I tried a new restaurant, you could say, oh my God, I found this incredible little Italian place and their carbonara was life-changing.
Life-changing carbonara. I love it.
Right? Suddenly, I want to know everything about this restaurant. The enthusiasm makes it interesting.
Yeah, it's all about the delivery. What about adjectives? Like, how do you describe how you felt about your weekend?
Oh, good one. So beyond just good or nice, there are tons of options. You could say it was relaxing, exhausting, productive, eventful.
Chaotic.
Yes, it was a bit chaotic, to be honest. That tells a story right there.
Or like it was a mixed bag. I hear that one sometimes.
Yeah, mixed bag is great when you had some good parts and some not so good parts. It's honest without being negative.
What about when something went wrong? Like, do you share that?
I think it depends on the context and who you're talking to, but generally, yeah, you can share it, especially if you can frame it in a humorous way.
Okay, like how?
Like, I tried to cook this fancy recipe and it was a complete disaster. I ended up ordering pizza. You're being honest about the failure, but you're making it light, funny.
Right, so you're not complaining, you're just sharing a funny moment.
Exactly. And actually, people often appreciate those kinds of stories than with perfect Instagram-worthy weekends.
Yeah, the everything went wrong but I survived stories are usually the best ones.
Totally. Oh, and here's another thing. Timing phrases. These are super useful.
Timing phrases?
Yeah, like on Saturday morning, Sunday afternoon, Saturday night. These help organize your story and make it easier to follow.
Oh, right. So instead of just saying I did this and this and this, you're giving it a structure.
Exactly. On Saturday morning, I went for a run. Then in the afternoon, I met up with some friends, and Sunday was just a chill day at home. See? It flows.
Yeah, I can picture it. What about, what about expressions like slept in or stayed up late? Those seem pretty common.
Oh, yeah, those are great. I slept in until 10. That immediately tells someone you had a relaxed morning. I stayed up late watching movies. That's a vibe.
A vibe. Yeah, I like that.
And then there's caught up with for people. I caught up with an old friend over coffee. That's different from just I met a friend.
Right, caught up implies you haven't seen them in a while and you had a lot to talk about.
Exactly. The language you choose adds layers of meaning. Oh, and we can't forget about weather. British people especially, we love to talk about the weather. Oh yes, lovely weather we're having. Right? But seriously, weather is actually a great detail to include. I wanted to go to the beach, but it was pouring rain, so I ended up at the movies instead. It explains your decisions and makes the story more complete.
Yeah, and it's relatable. Everyone understands how weather affects your plans.
Exactly. You know what else I think is important? Ending the conversation gracefully.
Ooh, yes. Like, how do you wrap it up without it being awkward?
Right, so you can use phrases like, anyway, that was my weekend, or so yeah, pretty low key, or all in all, it was a good weekend.
Those are nice. They signal like, okay, I'm done sharing, your turn, without actually saying that.
Exactly. And then you flip it back to them. What about you? How was yours?
And we're back to the dance.
We are indeed. You know, I think what we're really talking about here is just being present in the conversation, not overthinking it, not trying to impress anyone, just sharing your actual experience.
Yeah, authenticity.
Right. Because at the end of the day, when someone asks about your weekend, they're not expecting a TED Talk. They just want to connect, have a little chat, maybe find some common ground.
And it's kind of practice for English learners too, isn't it? Like, these casual conversations are where you really improve.
Oh, absolutely. You're not going to learn conversational English just from textbooks. You need to actually talk to people about normal, everyday stuff, like weekends.
So what would you say to someone who's nervous about these conversations? Like, they're worried their English isn't good enough.
I'd say, first of all, most people are way more forgiving than you think. They're not judging your grammar. They just want to have a nice chat.
Right.
And second, it's okay to keep it simple. You don't need fancy vocabulary. I watched TV and ate pizza is a perfectly fine answer.
Sometimes the best weekends are that simple.
Exactly. And if you don't know a word, you can describe it. Like, I went to a place where they have lots of old books. Boom, you just described a used bookstore without knowing the exact term.
Oh, that's smart. Work around it.
Yeah. And honestly, those kinds of descriptions can make conversations more interesting anyway. Oh, and don't be afraid to ask people to repeat themselves or clarify. Sorry, could you say that again? Is a totally normal thing to say.
Right. Native speakers do that all the time too.
All the time, especially if someone's mumbling or there's background noise or you just zoned out for a second.
We've all been there.
We really have. You know, I think the main takeaway here is just practice. The more you have these weekend conversations, the more comfortable you'll get.
And maybe pay attention to how others do it. Like when someone tells you about their weekend.
Notice what makes it interesting. Yes, be a student of conversation. Notice the details people include, the enthusiasm in their voice, how they structure their stories.
And then steal their techniques.
Borrow their techniques.
Right, borrow. Okay, so should we summarize? What are the key points here?
Ooh, good idea. Okay, so 1, include details. Don't just say good, paint a picture.
2, ask follow-up questions. Show you're interested.
3, use varied vocabulary and expressions. Mix it up, don't be repetitive.
4, be authentic. Share real experiences, even the boring or failed ones.
5, pay attention to the other person. Read the room, know when to keep going and when to wrap up.
And 6, just relax and enjoy it. It's supposed to be fun, not stressful.
Yes, perfect. It's just a conversation about weekends, not a job interview.
Exactly. Well, I think that's probably a good place to end.
Yeah, I think so. So, listeners, next time someone asks you about your weekend, don't panic. Just think about what you actually did, pick a detail or two, and share it. And then, and this is important, ask them about theirs.
And who knows, you might end up having a great conversation.
You might discover a new restaurant recommendation, or find out you both love the same detective show, or just have a nice human moment.
Warmly. Exactly. That's what it's all about, really. The human connection.
Well said. Okay, so until next time.
Until next time. And hey, have a good weekend, everyone.
And make sure you have a good story to tell about it.
See you next time. Bye-bye.